Good afternoon. We are at Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore on the Upper Peninsula in Michigan today. It's the 4th of July weekend 2020 and we will be hiking out here to do some backpacking on the North Country Trail. We will pass by Little Beaver Lake on the way down and spend the first night in the Coves area. And then tomorrow we will hike further down to Chapel Beach Falls, spend the night down at Chapel Beach Falls, and the next day return to the Coves area and then hike out on Monday. This should be an amazing time, should be beautiful. We want to watch some sunsets down here and just have a little bit of relaxing time. So it will be a 10-mile total hike. Let's go and have a good time. So what I love about this place up here, the Pictured Rocks and the Upper Peninsula, is the various terrain and the forest. You've got dense pine forest on this section, which is really beautiful, as you can see. And then later we will have a more open terrain that I will show you in the, I think it's the Beaver Basin Wilderness. Here's Little Beaver Lake. The mosquitoes are pretty bad right now. You might see them, I don't know. So we entered the Beaver Basin Wilderness and the terrain is changing just a little bit because the soil is very sandy as we get closer to Lake Superior, and it's more open, and the ground has this mossy sort of, yeah, like almost looks like Spanish moss. I'm not sure exactly what this type of moss is, but it looks really pretty out here and it smells wonderful with all the pine trees. So Tim, did you recently get into the beekeeping business?
Yes, I did. Now the mosquitoes are getting pretty bad, so I thought I'd put this on.
Okay, yeah, I will put mine on when we get to camp.
Yeah.
Here's that moss that I mentioned, a close-up of the ground cover in the Wild Basin, Beaver Basin area. This little guy is right on the tree here at camp. So I thought I'd give you a nice close-up. So we are all set up at camp for tonight. We are in the Coves area and it's beautiful. They have quite a few sites spaced out throughout this area, but it's not cramped. There are other people, but they are not really too close to us. Mosquitoes are bad, but that was to be expected. Lake Superior is right down this way, so we will check that out later. So here we have the fire pit and the supply tent, and then I will let you see how large this site really is. This is our second tent that we will actually sleep in. Very nice. All around, very nice views. So we made the good old standby pasta and tuna, and very important, salt and pepper.
My favorite.
Very important, s'mores time. Good morning.
Good morning.
We slept well last night, and would you say that you slept well?
Yep, it was very quiet except for the sound of the mosquitoes trying to get in to us.
Yeah.
But it was quiet.
That was really horrible. The plan is to make some breakfast. I brought homemade muffins, and we will have coffee and oatmeal, and then take our time here this morning before we hike down to Chapel Creek Falls to set up for night number 2. So we have some homemade muffins here, banana bread with chocolate chips, cinnamon blueberry oatmeal, a fruit bar, and some basic Bustelo coffee to wake us up with. That water looks incredible, and I'm standing here looking down from the North Country Trail. It's a very steep drop off. So we made it to Spray Falls. You can see it in the distance, and I will zoom it in for you shortly. It's very steep right here, and I don't want to step back any further because I fear that this is just gonna crumble off one day. So yeah, Spray Falls. So we made it to Chapel Beach Falls. It's beautiful. We picked a site right here. It's sort of away from the other sites, and we've got easy water access. Chapel Creek is running behind the tents right here, and we set up in the shade. It's very peaceful so far. Got a few people walking by, but that's not a big deal. We look forward to watching the sunset tonight on Lake Superior and seeing Chapel Beach Falls. We will do that later, and for right now we will just relax a little bit and eat some lunch. So we really look forward to that. So this is the Chapel Creek right behind our campsite. Very beautiful. So we just as we set up, a park ranger came over and asked to see our permit. So just want to point out, I think that's great that they do that, just to keep track of people having a permit, doing it the right way, because this area does get very busy on the holiday weekend, and probably quite a few times people set up here without a permit because you have quite a few sites, and I'm glad that they keep track of that, so that's great. So I'm still trembling. After the park ranger left, the park ranger that wasn't friendly, after we showed him the permit, he had also mentioned to us that there is a black bear out here, and we remember this from when we day hiked here years ago, that there was a sign warning about a black bear in the area, and we saw droppings. So we knew this is bear country. We brought our 2 bear canisters and secured all our food after we ate. And thankfully we had already eaten and put everything away that was scented, and we put the bear canisters out that way. And I left my bear spray in the supply tent, which was a mistake, and we were just in this tent taking a nap and just kind of, trying to get away from the mosquitoes before we go down to the beach for sunset. And I kind of look out from under the tent and I see this black bear right outside our tent, leisurely just looking around, and I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Seriously, I mean, I've seen lots of black bears. I even had another encounter at Olympic National Park last year where a black bear and cub, a mama bear and her baby, surprised me on trail. I had no warning. I tried to clap my hands. I tried to, announce myself. They didn't take any notice. I gave them plenty of room and they safely passed me. I was so grateful that bear wasn't aggressive at all, and we just bumped into each other. And this bear, I got out of the tent after I saw him go away, and I clapped my pots and pans, and he didn't really move it. He just leisurely took off, and I went and got my bear spray, and so he's down in that area as far as we know right now. There are some other campers down there, and lots of people aren't good about securing their food. So I'm telling you, if you are in bear country, please secure your food as soon as you're done eating. Don't leave anything out at all that's scented, not even toothpaste. Put it into your bear canisters. Also, this place has bear lockers provided at the different campsites. You can share that with other people, and your food will be okay. If you don't bring a bear canister, please do that, because definitely the bears will come into your camp, even if you don't have anything out, if nothing else to sniff around and see, so safety first. You want to explain what happened when we got back to camp from the beach?
Yeah, we had just went to the beach for a few minutes. We came back to camp, and then we noticed that both of our tents were knocked down. The bear had been through here.
We had no food in anything.
No food in anything, because we had our food in our bear canisters just far away from the tent. And then once we looked at all the damage of the tents, and we saw that he even pierced our propane tank.
Yeah, which was the only thing out here.
Yeah, that was the only thing that could have had any smell to it, I suppose. And then we look, and he's at our bear canisters.
Yeah, he's right back there.
Yeah, he's back there. Not far away. He's there right now. So we can't
get our food right now. We can't get to the canisters, and it's getting dark.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to move to a different tent site closer to other people, and then we'll come back and check to see if he's away from our bear canisters.
But that really kind of zipped it for us today.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is day number 3 of our adventure at Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore here on the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, and we went to the beach last night to watch the sunset and to take some pictures of the sunset and video, and I'm trying not to talk too loud. We have other campers and it's very early in the day. But when we came back from the beach to our camp spot, both our tents were torn down by the bear. So the bear had returned to camp, tore down our tents with no food, no scented items of any kind in both of those tents. It had nothing edible, nothing scented. We had put everything, including the toothpaste, the little tube of toothpaste, we had put all of it into our bear canisters and secured the bear canisters and stored them quite a ways down. And he had been in both the tents, tore them down. He punctured my inflatable pillow.
He even punctured our propane tank, which I didn't think that he would do that. That was, I think, unusual, but so that was ruined.
Yeah, so there was a hole in the propane tank. There was propane leaking out of it. It smelled horrible. And we soon realized when we were gonna look at our bear canisters that he was laying on them, protecting them. So he was back there laying on the bear canisters. We had 2 people that we found that were willing to help us go back there and try and yell and scream as loud as we could on the top of our lungs. We had sticks, we had our trekking poles, we had pans. Nothing worked. We tried for probably a good 20 minutes to get him to leave the area, but he just kept standing his ground. He stayed on our bear cans, so we were unable to get to our items. We had nothing to eat left, and thankfully those 2 people, they gave us 1 sandwich that they were willing to share with us. They each had 1 sandwich, they gave us 1. I cannot express my gratitude for that, and they also gave us some crackers so that we at least had something to eat before we have to hike out today. And I think that what happened with this particular black bear is that he got used to people in this area, because this is a high traffic area where a lot of people come and camp, and they aren't experienced and they might leave trash out. I saw one guy who left the whole trash bag sitting out at camp when he left, and I tracked him down and told him to leave no trace. I handed him his trash and I explained about the bear situation. And I think a lot of people make this same mistake or are careless when they come here. They bring picnic baskets and coolers. We saw people on the beach right down here with coolers, unattended at times. And this is a problem bear. It's become a problem bear. I hate that this happens. I wish that the park department was aware of this. They said that they know there is a bear, but I'm sure he has gotten so used to people that he has no fear. He must have gotten food before, judging by the way he acts. So I just want to warn everybody that hikes in bear country and backpacks, leave no trace, put your stuff away, and be on the lookout, be careful, because if you have a problem bear, he will not hesitate to come to your tent even without anything in it that smells, and he might be aggressive, so be careful. Yeah. We will go back there now and check if he's gone. I mean, it'd be nice to get the bear canisters back. So we're back at the bear canisters. We have the bear canisters, they were fine. This is poop from him. So we came back and he was gone. And we got our bear canister back. It's still closed. He never got into it. It's got bite and claw marks all over the sides. And yeah. So I don't know, I'm still trembling. I never got any sleep last night from all this. We will hike out today and, probably just drive home a day early, to be honest. So thank you so much for watching. And again, remember, this can happen to anybody in bear country if the bear got used to people prior.